Hello and welcome to the first of these weekly shakeouts of Paula's Run Club in our Road to London series with me, Paula Radcliffe.
And me, Christopher Thompson.
And let's get straight into the questions, Thommo, because it is going to be a packed one today with lots of questions to catch up on that have come in over the Christmas period.
There is a lot there.
And first one is a voice message. We like the voice messages, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Hi Paula, hi Chris. Really love the podcast. It was kind of helping me to another London marathon this spring until a torn meniscus put paid to my best plans. I was running quite well. Like Paula, I've managed to achieve my 6 stars and have a place in Sydney for next August. I've also managed to obtain a place through Good for Age for London as well, and I'd really like to do it as I missed out this year. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are, because they are literally 4 months apart, how much time I need to recover between them. I know there's lots of talk about marathons that are, a week apart, a fortnight apart, but it's actually quite different when they're 4 months apart. What your thoughts are. I'm back running up to 10 miles now following my meniscus injury, just through lots and lots and lots of strength work, managed to avoid the surgeon's knife. Anyway, it would be great to hear your thoughts. Keep up the brilliant, brilliant podcast, and I'm really hoping that you'll help me through one, if not both marathons.
Oh, and that is from Fiona Tideswell, and we would love to do that, wouldn't we, Thommo? And yeah. I think it's very feasible. If she's back to 10 miles of steady running now, and we're 16 weeks out, and this message came in middle of December as well, so a little bit longer she's had to build to the point that we're at now. And really good point that Fiona makes. We do give a lot of advice about bouncing back within a couple of weeks, and we don't talk about the 4-month one, which is totally doable. You must have done that, Thommo.
Well, actually, that's what our selection policy is for the World Champs and Olympics. Quite often our trials are at London, and then the major championships are in the summer, and there's usually roughly around 4 months between the two. So you often see athletes like Emile Carresse ran London in 2006 and then went on to come fourth at the Olympics in August. So it's a very... it's a nice time scale, because you actually allows to have a decent rest after the first marathon, and it allows you to kind of feed off the training you've done, because it's not a big enough gap that your body completely forgets what it's done. So I think it's you do need to be mindful that going into the first one, you've got another marathon build up to do. And what I mean by that is that you are kind of putting things in place to kind of use in your next build-up, whether that's the fueling or all these different things, but it is allowing a decent break. But I assume you had a 4-month gap between marathons. You must have done.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. So when I won the World Champs in 2005, I ran London in 2:17:41, or 42. Something like that, that year, and then came back for the World Champs. And it gives you time. You mentioned the key point, which is taking enough recovery after London and staying healthy and really enjoying the London Marathon. So listen to your knee. As Fiona said, she's working on all the strength things around it, and can kind of play a little bit more maybe with the second build-up, because the great thing about the stacked build-up is you have the endurance and the training and the experience of the race itself from the first one, and then you go away, rest, recover, and then come back and build on top of that one. So if you think about it as a second tier on the cake, that's a great way to look at it. And Sydney is a great one as well. We saw a lot of people. We maybe touch base with Sophie and ask her for her advice on that one, but I'm sure we can help you, Fiona, to go out there and really have a great experience at both of those.
I think the thing to bear in mind as well, because Sydney has got the biggest of all the majors, has got the most incline, isn't it? Or the biggest.
Yeah, which surprised me, because I thought New York would be up there.
Yeah, but I think it's deceptive, isn't it? Because when you get these elevation gains, it's the total. So with New York, you've actually got sections that are quite hard, whereas if Sydney, there's quite a lot of up and downs, and so it adds up to a greater amount, which is a slightly different effect. So I would say that's something to be mindful of, is that when training for Sydney, you do need to be mindful of the fact that you are going to need to probably have some inclines within your training. But the good thing is that's your second build up, because you've said exactly what I was going to say, Paula, of the stacking part. Because if you still need to use the first marathon as mindful of, make certain your knee is comfortable, strong, you're doing all those things. And I'd almost kind of, if you, let's say a car analogy, if you've got 5 gears, only use 4. And then use your 5th gear once you're in the next build up. But that there are things that if you feel like in your first build up that I wish I could have done this, I wish I could have done that, but you're not sure about your knee, just save it. Just think, shift it to your next build up and have plenty of rest. But it is 4 months is a nice amount of time to build up for a second marathoner for me.
Brilliant. And the next one from Ross.
And good luck as well.
Yeah, very much. Good luck.
Let us know.
And definitely come back and let us know how you do.
Yeah, I want to run Sydney, by the way. I really want to do that marathon.
Well, there's still time. We can sign you up.
But it's also hot as well. So hot is my devil.
Well, is it? It's August in Sydney. It's not.
I feel like it was hot when was it not? Was it their winter? Am I being simple?
Yeah, it's their spring.
Yeah, but their spring is still hot.
Early spring, winter, spring. Yeah, I don't think it's that hot. I think it was all right.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't think you need to worry about the heat anyway.
I sit
Mind
corrected.
you, we said that in London last year.
Well, yeah, this is true. Yeah. I sit corrected.
So this next one, Thommo, is a bit of an update from Ross, who has been on one of our previous shakeouts.
Yes. It comes in. He says, Hello again, Matt, Ross. Thank you both for addressing my question. I found it really helpful and encouraging. To quickly shed light on my lower leg history, I picked up my calf inner foot issue shortly after a marathon in 2023. I got gait analysis and biomechanical assessment, which flags slight pronation on the left side. Since I've worn custom insoles which seem to rectify the issue, since it's been my calf that periodically suffers from excessive tightness, and that can be sideline me for weeks, I'm utilising a spin bike. I just started building up sessions on an elliptical trainer plus strength trainer with specific routines to stretch, strengthen legs, calves and hips. Essentially, I think I need to reinforce your advice of prioritising recovery after taxing sessions and taking this as a challenge, which I love. I essentially miss the targets and consistency. Thank you both. I appreciate the positive advice. Ross, north of the border.
Yeah, I mean, I think basically he's saying that all the things that we talked about, that when you do have a slight gait, what do we call it? Something just slightly off with your gait that can predispose you to picking up injuries more easily, then it's really important to think about trying to strengthen up as much as possible around that. And after the hard workouts, and you've got the hard workout in, think about maybe using the cross trainers in some way. That can be a spin bike, as Ross said, or an elliptical, or a strength trainer, and just doing lots of strength and conditioning around that. I was trying to get Raf to do that over the Christmas break, Tom. We were in the gym every day because there was time, because it was just beach otherwise. And so he did a whole lot of core things that he's never even thought about doing before. And it's quite fun just to see how quickly that learning curve can go up. And he did say, well, how come you're so good at it? I said, well, I've been doing it for 30-something years. So you kind of do build up at certain balance things.
What's that book about 10,000 hours? Or something. Is it 10,000 hours? I forget what it is. You become a master at a skill or something like that. But yeah, it is. The good thing is the drop-off rate of 30 years of practicing is quite slow, so you should be all right.
It is. You start doing anything, because he was particularly talking about balancing on a Swiss ball, holding a medicine ball in the air and kind of lifting up one leg. So it's a lot of glute and core strength. And he was like, how come you can just do it without falling off the ball? And then I fell off the ball. And so it does happen, but you just get a little bit more stable on it.
It's always good to see parents slip up.
Yeah.
I will say one thing, just because he said about the calf like tightening up and stuff, and obviously now that he's using insoles and stuff, which seems to be helping, is just to be mindful that when you do alter the mechanics through something like that load will has to go somewhere, and therefore it will be moving. So if calves are still getting a bit tight and a bit fatigued, then just look at your back. Just a bit of TLC on the lower back especially will be a good thing. Stretching, neural stretching, all those kind of lovely things that kind of deliver
quite
messages
boring,
and
but help.
Say again?
All those things that are quite boring but help.
Yes,
I think it is just reiterating that, isn't it?
It's enjoying the mundane or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. Tapping into doing those things that aren't much fun, but they do help you to be able to get out there and do the things that are fun. So do more of the running.
It's like everyone loves a clean kitchen, but very few people enjoy the mundaneness of washing everything up. That's a really bad analogy, but it's in my head.
There's usually a fairy that comes in overnight and cleans all the kitchen. That's me.
Oh, is it you?
In our house, that's me. Everybody just thinks that fairy just is going to appear. But anyway, we're digressing away from the thing. The next one is pictures.
I very much have to pull my weight in my house.
We have pictures coming in this time, which is really good. And we don't actually have a name for this one. So it is from a Durham City female runner, if you can let us know who you are. But has sent in a really nice message. She says, I enjoyed the Christmas episodes. Thank you. I went for a 20-mile bike ride in the morning and a 30-minute run in the afternoon on Christmas Day. Wow. Well done. Awesome. That was a great Christmas day. Yeah. One of the club coaches said to me after a track session that my elbows stick out too much when running. I think it's been partly to do with having a tight thoracic spine, and I have been trying to pull my shoulder blades back and keep my elbows closed, but when I do that it makes me feel off balance and my hips seem to move more to compensate. Is there another way to work on my elbows, or do I just accept that that's my form? Or do I just be as conscious as I can be, which might make a millimetre of improvement? I have attached a photo. Not all the photos look like this, but often it does. And she's put in a couple of pictures. I don't think it looks too bad at all, Thommo, from those pictures.
It's a great example. I can see. It's funny, when I read the start of it, she actually went on to use the very word that I was going to say, that she's actually explained her own answer to her problem of arms are very much reactive to what's going on from your hips down. So if you think about where your center of gravity is, your arm will be moving out to compensate for the fact that if you think you're on one leg at that moment, so your arm is reacting to how balanced you are through that. Well, from the picture I can see on your right leg, so your left arm is sticking out just to create a counterbalance to how your leg is balancing on your right leg. And so the way in which when you say that you have a tight thoracic, quite often with problems, people will address where the pain or where tightness is, but actually it's got tight or painful for a reason. And I think the thing that you would be good to look at is just your right leg stability, whether that's through your glute or whether one thing I wouldn't be able to do through the pictures is fully know. I'd need to see a moving picture of whether your foot is a bit unstable, whether it's a bit tight or blocked, or whether your hip's a bit unstable. But basically there'll be something from your hip down to your foot that's kind of not fully giving you the balance that you need, and your left arm is splaying out to compensate. But if you address your right leg stability, that will stop your arm feeling the need to move out, and then your thoracic will not tighten as much to compensate for it. So it's a kind of a chain reaction of right leg instability somewhere along the chain. And
do you think it's only the left then?
Well, she's only sent pictures of her landing on her right leg, so I don't know her. So the two pictures we have is her landing the same way. Right.
But both elbows do seem to be the same. I think she's on the right lines. It's definitely lower back strengthening, isn't it?
Well, that's going to be
think about
but that's going to be reactive to the fact she's unbalanced on her leg. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. But I do think she's talking about perhaps both arms. But even if it's both arms, there's going to be instability on both legs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you don't, if you're weak on your upper body, your arms don't go out to compensate. Your arms move out for balance. If there's a weakness, your shoulders, your movement goes up or down through your weakness in your back. So outwards movement is to do with balance. Up and downwards movement is to do with weakness. So I don't know, you were quite good with this, Paula, but for me, I had hunched shoulders because I had very weak lower back or mid back. So I always ran with shoulders quite close to my ears. Well,
it's also happens towards the end of a run, doesn't it? So that's why my shoulders would tighten up when you're trying to go faster, when actually the better way to go faster is what Mo Farah did exceptionally well, which is relaxing and dropping your arms and keeping them low. So that's when I like to try and think about, at the end of the race, really thinking about the lower trunk muscles and making sure that your shoulder blades are kind of pulled back and your elbows low, and that naturally will tuck them in. The other point, just quickly to make, because the pictures that she sent in, she is on cross country. And if you are on muddier, more uneven surfaces, as you said, your arms will go out for balance anyway, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's quite a good thing at the start to keep people behind you as well.
No, yeah, but definitely. I mean, yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Well, that is a metaphor for life. Like a number of times, people said, like, if you're fighting in life, whatever you're doing, just treat it as a cross country. Get your elbows out and bash people just to get through life. But I think. Yeah, I think definitely it's a really good one, and quite often the one thing I would definitely say, without a doubt, do not think about or be paranoid. Your arms need to react how they need to react. Don't try and pull your arms in. Don't force the issue. Let the arms be what they do in the race, because once you're running, you just need to relax, and the last thing you want to do is tense your upper body, because that creates other problems. So please don't fight it. Think
relaxed and think tall, because that will help you bring your elbows in. If you think like a string pulling you up high, that will help. And also imagining runners. You know who I used to... When I was doing track sessions at 400s, I would struggle to go quicker because speed was not the thing that I was naturally that great at. I used to think I was... imagine that I was Marie-Jo Perec.
Oh, okay.
I was nothing like her, but it helped me to feel like I was running faster.
She's actually... she's the only... one of only two athletes that have ever won the 200, 400 Olympic double in the same Olympics. Which
MJ.
Yeah, MJ. Yeah. Most people only know MJ and don't realise Perec, and she did it at the same Olympics.
She did, and it was very inspirational. So yeah, that was the one that I used to think of, because she was very graceful to watch, and that helped me to visualise an excellent running form, even if it wasn't quite looking like that. So it felt like, and it helps to imagine something and keep imagining it and refresh it in your mind, and that translates into your running itself. So we're going to move on to the emails now, Thommo.
Yeah. Are you...
The first one in from Emily.
Yeah.
So firstly, I just wanted to say how much I've absolutely loved the podcast. Thank you. It has been such friendly company while I was running, and it's great to be able to catch up on the YouTube when I'm training on the treadmill. I did wonder when people listen to the YouTube bit of it. So big fan of you both. I'm very grateful for your generosity.
I've turned the light on.
And sharing the experiences. Speaking of experiences, I'm currently injured. Sad. I have stress fractures in both of proximal lateral tibia, and we suspect a stress reaction again in my right navicular. Ouch. Wow. I feel that one. I have a history of both navicular and second metatarsals having stress reactions in the past 12 months, mostly due to underfueling, overtraining, REDs. I never properly rehabbed from them as I didn't take enough time off. I should have known better as I'm a medical student. It always is the people who should have known better that are less likely to listen, unfortunately, and a background in veterinary. So I know the importance of rest with these things, but it's always hard to take your own advice. Unfortunately, it is. Anyway, I've been forced to rest with these tibia injuries as I've been in so much pain with them. It progressed from not being able to wear bare weight at all to now where I'm unable to run due to the pain, but I can manage light walking. I've gone from running 280 to 300 kilometres, my peak at 340 kilometres a week. I think that's a little bit too much, to 0 kilometres, and it's tough, I feel that. I find the bike aggravates my injury, and sadly I'm an awful swimmer, so I've taken to aqua-jogging. I have 3 questions, top 2, and the most important ones if you're stuck for time. How do you know the right form to have whilst aqua-jogging, and what metric duration heart rate should I be aiming for ideally to maintain my fitness? Appreciate I can't aqua-jog for that many hours that my body would have been used to running. No, you probably will help to make it more efficient though, time-wise, and it would be helpful to know how Paula approached her aqua-jogging when she was rehabbing from injuries. And as underfueling has been an issue previously, I want to know if and how you modified your nutrition whilst rehabbing from injury. I know my metabolic demand will still be high from the bone repair and being very active, but it's hard to quantify this when I've been in such a heavy running routine. So that is from Emily. Well, Emily, first of all, you do really need to concentrate on the metabolic support. So you need to be making sure that you're eating enough of the protein that needs to rebuild, the calcium, of course, and all of the vitamins and minerals around that calcium uptake to help your bones heal and strengthen, and to help build up the muscles to avoid those injuries coming back when you get back to running. Do you have some points to make, Thommo, before I talk about the aqua-jogging side of it? Well, you also have done a lot of experience in aqua-jogging.
Yeah, I did a heck of a lot of aqua-jogging in my day. I think there's a couple of things here before the aqua-jogging bit, is that just conscious of the commenting around the under-fueling and the REDS thing, and I think that there's potentially a couple of things that she has to kind of be mindful of to recover from. Like, recovering from a bone stress is one thing, but bones tend to actually in reality heal fairly quickly. It will be more the kind of the REDS aspect that will need fueling. So all those the things where you're saying about how do I know where the metabolic demand's being higher, in reality, like getting back to any kind of training, even if you're aqua jogging, that's going to put a demand on any RED-S kind of issue. So I would say that there needs to be a reset there before anything else, because the body is an incredible thing. It's an amazing thing and can achieve incredible things if it's given everything it's needed to do what it needs to do. So I wouldn't see fueling or nutrition as limited or anything. I would see it as almost like more of a spread betting kind of thing, of you just get as much as you can in and do as much as you can to kind of get back on top of that before then attacking the aqua jogging personally, because then it will help you not just recover from the injuries, but it also help you recover from sessions as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's thinking about energy in and energy out, isn't it? And whether you're aqua jogging, whether you're on the bike, whether you're laying down on the bed recovering from an injury, you still need to fuel yourself for that. So it's about changing that mindset and making sure that you look on that, the fueling side, as important as getting over the injury, as all of the cross training, as all of the strength and conditioning that will come in around that. The only point that I will make, having suffered badly from that navicular injury that kind of basically ruined my career, is that sometimes the navicular, it's an arch joint. It's basically the keystone part of your foot. And so if you are getting recurrent navicular injuries, it might be worth looking at orthotics. And certainly for me to get over mine, I had to go permanently in orthotics, to the point where even if I got up in the night, I had to go into a pair of shoes with orthotics on to walk around. So it is a very, very hard injury to recover from if you haven't kind of worked out why it happened. And yes, there's a bone weakness going on because of the REDS, but the navicular itself, why has that bone been hit? I would really look at foot strength and whether you need some kind of orthotic support in there. And then to move on to the aqua jogging side of it, I found, and I don't know how you did it, Thommo, but I found aqua jogging, just to go out and do a steady run aqua jogging, extremely boring. But the only time that I did it was actually when I was pregnant. The rest of the time I would just get in there and do reps all the time. So, and I would vary the length of the reps and bring the recovery much shorter, because you're floating in the water. So when you go to the recovery side of it, you can pretty much halve the recovery that you would need to take out of the water. So I used to do, a key session I would do 2 minutes on, 30 seconds off, a minute and a half on, 30 seconds off, a minute on, 20 seconds off, and then 30 seconds on, 15 seconds off, back into the longer reps, and just to kind of break it up, because it's hard to keep the quality going. And it is a slightly different style, isn't it, when you're aqua jogging? So you're not going to exactly replicate the way that you run outside, but really try and stay upright, because if you lean forward in the water, yes, you'll move forward, but you're not working the muscles as well as if you basically try and keep your torso part upright and just get all the work done with your legs and some of your arms.
I think I won't bore you with all the different types of things I did, but I think, because I'd say the message is with aqua jogging is just getting in there and raising the heart rate is all that you need to worry about, and keeping yourself entertained. I mean, to add as another session is sometimes there was 50 meter, doing this in a 50 meter pool is hard work, but I would do a lap, a straight hard, and then sort of easy back. And so that's a bit too much recovery in some ways, but or you could go halfway or 2/3
or you could
of
go
the way
across the end if you can in your pool.
Well, yeah,
depends
that
what you
depends
can
on
do in the
if it's
pool.
lane
The other thing
swimming,
is the TheraBand or the rope ones that we've talked about before, haven't we?
I'm a bit conscious about suggesting that's
No, well, yeah, you need somebody who's helpful to sit on the side of the pool and hold that, but you can do it with an elastic, and that is quite good because you're working harder to pull away from the resistance of that. We used to do it where Gary would sit on the side of the pool and hold a TheraBand, and I would try and stretch out as far as you could, and then recovery, you just kind of float back and then go again. 30 times 45 seconds is another one that I used to do with 15 seconds rest. And you're absolutely right, just getting the heart rate up. Do remember though that when you're in the pool, the water and the lack of weight bearing means that you won't get your max heart rate. Same as you would when you were running. What did you find? I think I would be in the 170s, whereas I might get into the 190s when I was actually running.
I honestly never took my heart rate when I was aqua-jogging. I just smashed it. To be
Go
honest,
on, feel.
Yeah, because again, it's bad enough being injured and I don't want to be there, that I kind of was just trying to, in a lot of ways, you're just trying to mentally make yourself feel better by doing something.
Yeah.
And you can't get away from the fact it's not running. So you're trying to either prolong your fitness or give yourself something to work with once you got back running. And so those small little 1%ers, I was like, oh, do you know what? Just get it done and get out of there. I mean, but listen, good luck, but please, I can't emphasize enough the saying of you're doing a lot of running in a where you were doing a lot of running in a week, and
I would recommend maybe scaling that back when you do get back to running.
I do wonder why.
I think that's a high volume.
Is she a ultra runner? That's my one. She hasn't said if she's an ultra runner where she competes, because if she's not competing and doing it for performance reasons, then it's more to do with feel. And I would say there's no limit to, as long as you need to give yourself enough to just function and do it sounds like you're doing a very high profile job and education, and you need that fuel to keep going. So please just get back.
And
on
the
top
other
of that.
point on aqua-jogging, just quickly at the end, is I used to find that doing kind of side, how when you run side, I don't know how to describe this, but when you're running sideways, so side lunges.
Yeah.
If you do those in the water, it's very good for glute strength and adductor strength.
Oh,
it's not really a workout, but it does help with core strength. So basically you turn side on and you try and move yourself sideways.
You're still talking non-weight bearing. You're not
non-weight bearing. Yeah. Okay. It's actually very hard to do, and you're not going to do it as a workout. But just doing it short distances as a little bit of a drill might help with running strength all over.
Okay. There you go.
And glute strength. And I think we've got time for one more, Thommo.
Yeah.
Do you want to do Anna Whitelock quickly?
Yes, and good luck, Emily.
Yes, good luck.
Excuse me. Hello. I did the London Marathon in April. Very hot, and a 4 hours 36. I've done the virtual London in lockdown in 2020. I'm going to do the virtual next year, and then an ultra in June. Blimey. Currently, I'm running 30 to 35 miles a week with a long run between 13 to 18 miles. Oh, wow. So mostly running pretty much in one run. Today I did 18. How far should I be doing for long runs ahead of the January training block? Say that again. How far should I be doing for long runs ahead of the January training block starting in January? Thanks so much. Love the pod. This was sent mid-December. Just FYI.
So she's starting to build up for the virtual London and then an ultra in June. So it's very much that two-pronged build up, isn't it, Thommo? So I think you're going to obviously don't say how far that ultra is going to be, but I'm guessing it's kind of touching up towards the 50 miles.
50k
50k.
Yeah, 50k is I think the shortest classified as an ultra, isn't it?
Right. Okay. So it could be anything in that range, and so the long run.
Is it 30? It might be 30. I apologise. That's showing my naivety to.
Well, it's anything long. Well, because the 50k is already a marathon's 42, so.
Of course, I was thinking it's it's 50. Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So currently, if you're up to 18 miles, then you're doing very, very well. For London, I would say you only need to go a little bit further. I mean, my longest run, I think, used to be at 20. I might get to 23 and a half miles. In the build-up for London, I wouldn't go further than that. So there's not a huge amount to be doing in those long runs, certainly ahead of January. I would say that you could stick at the 18 and actually work on the pace maybe of those 18 milers and of some of the other runs in the week. What do you think, Thommo?
Because I'm doing quick maths. If you're doing 18-mile long run and then a 35-mile week, that your 50% of your running is done in one run. And I would actually look to do a higher percentage outside of that long run. So the long run, before you start thinking about doing a long run, I would do more running in the week if you can. But it depends on what your work and commitments and everything's like. But in an ideal world, I would say 18 to 20 miles that's good enough. It's just I would try and fit more running in the week, because what you're going to get is more tired legs going into that long run. So you'll get more bang for your buck rather than trying to do a longer run, more running on the longer run than adding it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right? Does it sound
Yeah, no, you totally are. You're looking to try and to build that up a little bit. That's why I'm talking about making the pace of that one maybe a little bit quicker, and then increasing, not all of the runs, maybe adding in one more run in the week, depends how you're dividing that up, or making one of those into maybe a slightly longer tempo run where you can run quicker on it and work on it that way. Then, of course, as you get closer to London, so as we get through into March, you're going to need to build that long run up a little bit from the 18, but as you said, only a couple of, only really add a mile a week maybe, and get up to around about 22. Then it depends on how big the ultra is, whether you want to do some of those longer ones before London, because there isn't that much time afterwards. You've got to recover from that April the 26th. It's going to take you into the middle of May, and then you're going to be getting almost into the taper for the one in June. So I would perhaps preload with some longer runs than you would normally do for London, through that kind of back end of February, March and beginning of April, then taper down for that. But yeah, it's exciting build up, a smart build up, and good luck for that. The advantage of the virtual being that you can perhaps use something that's similar to the terrain of the ultra in June to kind of practice for that a little bit. So get out and use that while you're doing the London virtual. Please let us know how you get on, Anna. And I think that's pretty much all we've got time for this week. Thommo, just a quick reminder for that WhatsApp number, that is +44 7564 747 914. And of course, you can get in touch by email to paulasrunclub@momentumbroadcast.co.uk, or on socials @paulasrunclub is the handle to get in touch with us there. Look forward to hearing from you. Don't forget, the main pod in this Road to London will continue dropping on a Monday, and this Shakeout will continue every Thursday. Thank you very much for listening. It has been a Momentum Broadcast production, and we will see you next week. We'll see you Monday.
Yeah, see you Monday. Cheers, guys. Have a good weekend.